Hey, this is Mr. Ward, and I am doing a key for the Do Now 23.1, and that's week 23, day 1, and here we go. So how would you simplify this exponential expression? 10 to the 9th raised to the 4th power. Well, what you have here is a power being raised to a power, and so we are going to apply the power law. So b to the m raised to the n power is going to equal b to the m times n power. So what you're going to do is you're going to multiply these exponents. 9 times 4. You'll keep the base, and you're going to end up with 10 to the 36th power, because 9 times 4 is 36. Now if I have 0.6 times 10 to the negative 17th, it needs to be adjusted if we want to express it in scientific notation format. So what we need to do is make 0.6 10 times bigger, which will be 6.0 if we like, or just 6 if we prefer. Oftentimes we'll actually express that as 6.0, but that's okay. And then we need to make the 10 to the negative 17th 10 times smaller. Well, to make 10 to the negative 17th 10 times smaller, that means we're dividing 10 to the negative 17th by 10, or by 10 to the first. And so we would be subtracting 1 from negative 17. Negative 17 minus 1 is negative 18. So we're going down 1 on the exponent. So our answer is going to be 6 times 10 to the negative 18th, because we're making the 10 to the negative 17th 10 times smaller, which means we go down a step. Now here we have 3 times 10 to the negative 3rd to the 5th power. So how would we deal with that? Well, we're going to raise 3 to the 5th power. Okay, so 3 is going to be raised to the 5th power, which will be 243, because that's 3 times 81. 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is 243. And then we'll take this 10 to the negative 3rd to the negative 5th, and that's going to be 10. Since it's a power raised to a power, it's going to be, we're going to use the power law. So it's 10 to the negative 3 times 5. So we'll end up with 10 to the negative 15th power. Now we haven't yet set this in scientific notation. That's coming in the next question. So we're going to have 243 right now as our coefficient, and 10 to the negative 15th as our power. So let's find that. It's going to be 243. All of these have 243. So let's now find 10 to the negative 15th. There it is. So that's the one we're choosing. We're going to raise 3 to the 5th power and multiply the exponent of 10 by 5. See, we multiply the exponent of 10, which was negative 3, times 5, and we got negative 15. So 243 times 10 to the negative 15th power. Now Jimbo's back. Jimbo took the correct answer from number 3, which was 243 times 10 to the negative 15th, and he adjusted it to be in scientific notation. He made the coefficient 243 into 2.43, which is absolutely right. And then he made the power 10 to the negative 15th into 10 to the negative 17th. What did he do wrong? Here's what he did wrong. So we know here we're making 243 10 times smaller. No, not 10 times, 100 times smaller. What am I saying? So we're moving the decimal 2 places to the left. So 243. We move the decimal 1 place, that's 10 times smaller. 1 more place to the left, that's 100 times smaller. So now he's going to make 10 to the 15th, 10 to the negative 15th, 10 to the negative 15th, 100 times bigger. So if he's going to do that, he's going to be multiplying that times 10 to the second. If he's multiplying that times 10 to the second, we're going to add our exponents. 10 to the negative 15th plus 2 is going to be 10 to the 13th, negative 13th, I should say. So what he did was he figured that negative 17 was going to be too bigger than negative 15. Well, it's too farther from 0, but it's too farther in a negative direction. So it's actually 2 powers of 10 smaller. So it's 100 times smaller. We made the coefficient 100 times smaller. So we really have to preserve things, the consistency of this, by making the power of 10 100 times bigger. So here's what Jimbo did. Jimbo, and I'll actually erase some of this stuff here. So we needed to end up with 10 to the negative 13th. So Jimbo made 10 to the negative 15th 100 times smaller when he needed to make it 100 times bigger, since he made 243 100 times smaller by making it 2.43. So what the answer is going to be is 2.43 times 10, not to the negative 17th, but 100 times smaller than 10 to the negative 15th is 10 to the negative 13th. And that's your answer. I hope that helped.